Hi, everybody. Welcome to the launch party for the Fashion Industry Virtual Conference that's happening May 19th and 20th. We're a little early, but we are excited to get things kicked off. I want to introduce myself. My name is Karina Nova. I'm with WBNS 10 TV and the Wake Up CBuzz team. I'm also on the board of the Columbus Fashion Council, and I am so excited to be with you tonight with some other fabulous guests who you're going to meet in just a few minutes. Now, if you're a fashion designer or in the fashion industry, then tonight and next week's virtual conference, it's for you, really. The Columbus Fashion Council developed a new program, the Fashion Industry Virtual Conference. Conference attendees will have the opportunity to participate in immersive discussions by guest speakers and hosts from the fashion industry and the Council of Fashion Designers of America, CFDA. This program is going to bring you together. It's going to bring together industry experts who can assist fashion designers and other fashion industry professionals reach the next level in their fashion careers and fashion pursuits. So it's everything you need to know to make you a huge success, and you already are. And tonight we have a few amazing fashion industry expert guests that are going to join this party. So hopefully you have a cocktail. I have my cocktail and my wine in a can. I'm ready to go. So grab your cocktail. Hopefully you have some snacks, and I'm going to introduce them to you right now. We're going to have a great time. So first, I want to introduce to you the Lubna Najjar, CEO of Moda Brand Development and President of the Columbus Fashion Council. Lubna, yes.
Hey guys, how are you?
Thanks for joining tonight, Lubes.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. We've been waiting to host this conference for years. The time is now, and we couldn't be more thrilled to team up with the CFDA Connects program to get this going. So you look beautiful.
Oh, I'm so tired. I got 3 hours of sleep. I got to be at work at 2 a.m., but I couldn't miss this tonight. So I am here with you all. This will help me take a good nap tonight. Yeah. All right, let's welcome Thomas McClure, founder and executive director of the Columbus Fashion Council. Tommy, hello.
Hi. Hey, hi Karina. Hi Lubna. How are you? Everyone looks amazing.
Thanks for being here. You kind of me. All right, we're going to talk to you in a minute, and we know you like to talk, so I'll give you your chance, I promise. And we want to welcome a really special guest tonight. I'm so excited about this. Elliot Carlyle, who's a consultant at the Council of Fashion Designers of America and program lead of CFDA Connects. He's a big deal. So Elliot, welcome.
Hi, how are you guys? It's good to be here. Hi, Karina. Hi, Luke. Thomas.
Hi, Elliot.
Thank you so much for being here. And you know what? The power of, the internet. You're far away. We're all in different places, but we're all able to be here. And that includes our next fabulous guest. And many of you know his name, the amazing, talented, and handsome, hello there, Alex Vinash, international celebrity designer. Follow his Instagram page if you don't already. It's like, wow. And Fashion Week Columbus 2017 headline designer, but we bring him back for everything because we love him so much. So Alex, hello.
Hi, Alex. I think you're on mute. Let me see. All right.
There you go.
I'm okay now?
Yeah. Sorry, Alex, I actually muted you. I'm sorry.
Oops. That's okay. It was not really good.
Alex, it is so good to see you. The last time I saw you was at our 10-year anniversary.
That's true.
For Fashion Week in 2019, right? How have you been since then? You've done a lot. Fill us in.
Well, I actually opened finally I used to be in a small boutique and now have a big store in town, and it's been incredible. I opened a few hotels, and I've been designing a lot of restaurants, clinics, houses. Like, I've been doing a lot of interiors, which is really fun. But also I do my textiles into the designs, which is really cool. Which for sure we're going to talk about it, but it's really cool to just opening a little bit. I mean, COVID made me opening a little bit range of things to do, and it was really fun, like a fun ride.
That's amazing. I mean, so you went from fashion to everything else. Opening up hotels? That's amazing.
Well, you have to do. I think designers have to do. We have the power to create. No matter you create a bag, you never create a juice. I mean, you can create a brand. You can create anything as long you have creativity, and as long nobody catch you that. And I have the power to create my own things, which is also a luxury. But it is. I don't work for another brands. I just work for my own brand. So that makes you. I think Lubna knows that very well. That gives you a little power of create what you want, but also you have sense of where you need to spend or not. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're so talented, and so many of our designers are talented. You have that artistic mind. So why just only use it on clothes? Like you're using it on everything else. I love that.
Well, I think one of the power of these days that we can able to. You can't just be a designer. You kind of have to be now an Instagrammer, a YouTuber, or a TikTok person, or you have to do a business person, which you kind of have to do everything, and you have to find a niche for what you do is correct, and then start to make money. Which, at the moment I was focused only make my name, and I forgot to make money. Because you just saw. I think Elliot, you know better for sure because you talk with a lot of designers. You just wanted to make it as a designer, so you matter how you just make it there, but you just spend, but the return is not immediately. So I found a way to just balance that, to just create, make my name, and also make money, to invest in other things.
I love that. Well, that's why we bring you here, because you've gone through all that, and we can learn from your mistakes and your successes.
I agree with that. I did do that.
Well, let's talk to Tommy and Lubna. How have both of you been? Are you guys having a little drink tonight? You having a great evening?
I also have the same thing you have. I
indicator the best invention in the. I guarantee you, a fashion designer created this. Or
mine is Colombian coffee.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I have coffee too.
Coffee and wine. Why not? Karina, my box showed up today. Like the UPS knocked on my door, and all of a sudden it was just this box of wine from Graham and Fisk, who actually I'm talking to about Fashion Week Columbus sponsorship. So we'll see. So they sent this to me to kind of butter me up, I guess.
Okay. It's, you know what? When you get a box that shows up on your front door and it's a box of wine and not boxed wine, that's always good.
You can give them your board president's home address as well. You can give them the rest of the board's addresses. I think we all need to test it, right, Karina?
Yeah, send it out.
Yeah.
And, Elliot, we have to talk to you because this is such a huge win for Columbus to have CFDA, a part of us this year, have the Council of Fashion Designers of America represented here tonight. And for Central Ohio designers, this is really big. So tell us a little bit more about CFDA Connects, the program, and how this benefits the organization and those we serve. There's a lot to it.
Yes, there is. I will tell you, Karina, it is one of the most exciting things I've ever been a part of in my career. And just to let you and the audience know, this is something that has been sitting with me for years now. And I actually started to put together in 2018, but it was such a blessing to be able to talk to Stephen Kolb, who is the CEO of the CFDA. And he had a very much personal interest in doing something with regional fashion weeks and the regional markets. And with my experience, because I come from a regional market and have worked with many regional fashion weeks, just over the years, seeing what was some of the pain points and also some of the successes, but also some of the weaknesses or disconnects that were there. I felt, just with my note taking, I had put together something that was really substantial. And then what better way to engage this than with the Council of Fashion Designers of America? And when I tell you the whole staff, everyone I get to work with, it's been such a team effort and everyone is very excited about it. And it's just really, really awesome. But what it does and what it exists to do is to influentially amplify your mission. We want to help expand the reach of organizations such as Columbus Fashion Council and Columbus Fashion Week Columbus, also to increase their awareness and strengthen their connection to the pulse of business, commerce, media, and trade in the American fashion industry and globally. And how we see that existing, Karina, is to do that through editorial and social opportunities, educational and professional development, being able to have access to the illustrious fashion calendar and events, also market and business opportunities, as well as CFDA's latest platform, which is Runway 360, that was launched in 2020 as a result of the pandemic and everyone having to shift virtually like we are doing now. And so that is the opportunity where Fashion Week actually existed. And so the way that I see it is fashion is literally is fashion 365. It's every day of the year, any time of the day. It's fashion 24/7 where you can go and you can plug in. So opportunities will be there for people that are in Columbus and in anywhere in Ohio that want to join with the Columbus Fashion Council, and they want to have direct access to this particular audience and all of the industry that's on Runway 360. They can join through you all and have their own channel on, because Fashion Week Columbus will have its own channel on Runway 360, and those designers will be able to have access. But we are really interested in working. It's a partnership, the way that I see it. And because it's something new, I've been able to work with both Thomas and Lubna on building it out. And we've had months and hours of negotiations and talks on how this can be something, beneficial for your market and also the other regions. And it's just beautiful. And when you think of one of the biggest conversations that has been in fashion over the past year has been about diversity and inclusion, which we all know that diversity is not just pigeonholed to race. This is such a angle of diversity and inclusion that I really, really appreciate, and being able to connect people to what it is that we know is the pulse of business and trade and commerce in fashion from around America is just a beautiful opportunity. So I'm looking forward to seeing this helping strengthen the infrastructure of fashion within the state of Ohio.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's an amazing partnership. And Tommy and Lubna, I'll let you two jump in to kind of talk about what this partnership means for our local designers. I mean, this is huge.
I mean, Elliot is right. Like, we've been, I think, in conversations since December or January, if not sooner.
Actually, September of last year.
September.
Yeah.
That's how long we've been working on this. And we're super excited to really present this program to our CFC members. And if you're a CFC member, these benefits are going to pass on to you through the Columbus Fashion Council. And, I did have a question, Elliot, and Lubna, I'll let you also express your opinion on this. But I did have a question, Elliot, about Runway 360. I don't know if people really understand what that is, but I would love you to talk more about it in a second. And who visits that? Like buyers and, the media? Like, don't they go to Runway 360 to find out who these designers are?
Yeah, so Runway 360 is the platform, like I said, that was launched in 2020 as a result of the pandemic and the industry needing to find a place to shift. And while we were in this virtual environment, many people were like, well, what does that look like? The buzzword everyone had and was hearing was, oh, it's time to pivot, it's time to shift. And while that sounds good, but exactly how do you do that? And sometimes those pivots and shifts cost a lot of money. So CFDA built this platform so that Fashion Week could continue in a virtual way and celebrate American design, and that is what it is. So you can go there. Designers would have an opportunity to show. Now, it's not just an opportunity to show virtually. You can actually show a live event. You can stream it there, or you can show a pre-recorded show. But it also has a trade show component, and there are buyers who are on the platform. All of the industry is on the platform, as well as consumers as well. Just for anyone who's watching that just wants to see the shows, you can go and you can sign up and get a profile, and you can watch all of the designer show. And I'm telling you, there have been some incredible pivots. You talk about some shifting in this environment. It has been awesome to see what some of these designers have done. So I just encourage everyone to spend a couple hours and just check out the different styles of production and the different creative ideas that people have had in pivoting in this environment. But it really is just a virtual place to engage with the industry. And you can do private events or also public events. And it's just incredible. You can send invitations to the platform. I mean, it's really innovative. And American Express is the one who CFDA worked on to build that platform, and so they are the presenting sponsor for that, and it's just beautiful. So if you have not had a chance to check out Runway 360, please do so. And I can't wait for the announcement once Columbus Fashion Council and Fashion Week Columbus is all set up. You will hear about that as well.
It's a really exciting time. I just want to mirror some of what Elliot said earlier. We actually Tommy and I were in the we actually have 2 seats on the committee for the CFDA Connects program, and so we had our first meeting this week, and our initial excitement about being involved was really all around, what can the CFDA give Columbus, right? How can we access New York fashion industry here in Columbus? And we realized during that meeting very quickly that it wasn't just about what the CFDA as an organization is offering us, which is amazing resources to our members, but it's also what the other network and Connects members are also offering. So we've kind of created what we call sort of a sister city program, and we're now connected to all of these extraordinary cities around the country who are, creating these amazing fashion ecosystems in their areas. And for those that don't know a lot about the Columbus Fashion Council, Fashion Week Columbus is our flagship program, but it's not our only program. We have, knowledge sharing programs like the virtual conference we're hosting next week. We've got so many other programs where we're not just, continuing our mission, which is platforming fashion designers and giving fashion design students scholarships, but we're giving an opportunity to up-and-coming designers as well as established brands, a way to connect not just to industry, to grow their business, to wholesale, but also to kind of grow their network laterally, to say, okay, what can we do from here, right? That the industry is not very regulated. So we have a lot of room to grow. We have a lot of room to innovate. And so you say pivot, I say innovate, because we had to innovate. And I think part of what you're doing with CFDA, what we're now doing with CFDA Connects program, is innovating a new way of bringing runway to home, right? We're giving people a way to connect to the industry. So that's why I'm excited as board president. I'm like, oh my gosh, let's make this happen. And I know the rest of our board and all of our members are thrilled about that. So
that is incredible. And just one more thought with that, Lubna, because you brought out something really important for me, just in our conversations and what we were looking at within the internally within the CFDA. We talked to over 40 regional fashion weeks from around America just building this and engaging this. But what made these special, this group, especially like Columbus Fashion Council, was the fact that it wasn't just about doing a show. And just as an encouragement, I'm sure Alex can speak to this better than any of us on here, but there are so many designers who are so caught up in doing shows, and that's wonderful. We all love a fashion show. What better hype, right? But when the show is over, you still have to have a business. And so I was interested in working with organizations who were serious about building a serious support system for designers and providing resources and opportunity for their businesses to flourish beyond the fashion show. And Columbus Fashion Council exuded everything that I was looking for. So it was a win-win automatically that they would be a part of it. So just wanted to say that.
And thank you so much, Elliot. And we're going to bring Alex here in a minute to talk about him being a speaker on May 20th for a really awesome workshop. So we'll talk to you in a second. But first, Lubna, tell us a little bit about next week's Fashion Industry Conference and why it's so beneficial to fashion designers.
Absolutely. And I'm sure Aditi and the Events Amplified team will throw up some of the information, but we've got the website, thefashionindustry.org. We've decided to create a separate page to kind of keep all the information cohesive and in one spot so that you're not distracted by all of our other programs on the Columbus Fashion Council website. So Tommy's staff and volunteers have been incredible in building this site to create a one-stop information center for the conference. This is the first, but it is not the only. It's going to be an annual conference that we host year over year. It's going to be a 2-week conference. It goes from 12 to I think 6 p.m. Tommy, off the top of my head, both days. So 19th and 20th, you are going to enjoy conversations about sustainability in the industry, how to break into the modeling world. Conversations, I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but it's
we're going to show it. We'll have the schedule showed in a minute.
But what you can expect is exactly what Elliot and Tommy have kind of both mentioned a little bit within the industries, how to really not just get involved as a stakeholder, as somebody who's interested, but also for an industry expert or somebody who's really looking to perfect their craft. You won't just meet, you will hear and you will listen. Your ticket to the conference, you have unlimited access to any of the content that is going to take place next week. So it's going to be available to you indefinitely. The conference itself is free for CFC members. So if you're not a member, this is a wonderful way to have access to the conference, and you have an annual membership with that fee. And it's very low. We're doing a sort of easy and low cost entry this year because we feel like it is absolutely necessary for people to be involved and to hear these conversations. Each sort of cohort or breakaway is there's a host, and then there's 3 panel members. So not only will you have folks from, Elliot, like from the CFDA, and a couple of others from the CFDA, you'll have folks like Alex, like myself, you'll have industry experts really talking about things we know really, really well. And what I always call in our consultancy, we call them master tools, or like the secret sauce, the tools to connect you to things you absolutely need to know. This is the conference, you get that. And then you have contact information for all these experts that you can reach out to. And so that's kind of a high level view of what to really expect over those 2 days. There will be some fun elements in there too, like how to dress a celebrity, and, how to, really talk about your brand to buyers and media, how to represent your brand at a trade show, what it means to sell wholesale versus direct to consumer. So we're going to talk about these really interesting tools that you can use day after the conference. I mean, it's like fashion school, 2 days. What do you think, Tommy? How's that?
I mean, I think you covered it really well. I mean, I think we'll go actually more in depth with the schedule here in a little bit, but you were so well with it. And I think, something that, Karina, I don't know if am I the next question, or is Alex? But
I was going to talk to Alex, but go ahead, Tommy. Alex just made time for us while he's building hotels and restaurants.
Fine, no worries.
And a couple shops all over the world. But you go ahead, Tommy.
You're right.
Good.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you.
I know.
I just really though, I feel like we're doing this because so often the designers that we work with don't understand how to connect with buyers and media. They don't understand how to the manufacturing and the
on that note.
So yes, go.
Even designers still struggle to connect with buyers. Even designers who actually was in stores, like myself, I have still trouble connecting with buyers. Also, it's like, so it's not only for beginners, it's like, people who just get out of the school, or people who just have a brand. I think it's for everyone. I mean, it's like very difficult.
I agree with you.
All right.
Well, while Alex is talking, Tommy, I don't mean to cut you off, but Alex is one of our speakers on May 20th. And Lubna, you mentioned this workshop, how to dress a celebrity. And okay, so this picture went viral, right? So right before the pandemic hit, Alex, you designed that gorgeous white feather train and white suit for Billy Porter for the Golden Globes. There it is. Oh my
God, so gorgeous.
Yeah, it was in every single fashion magazine. It was all over the TV. Everybody was talking about it, fashion blogs, Instagram. So I have a couple of questions for you, because when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I know Alex, that's Billy Porter, and it's all over everywhere. And then I had so many questions for you, and I didn't want to bother you. So number one, do the celebrities usually have a lot of input? Did you and Billy work on that together? Did he say, I want this color, I want it to be big, I want it to, how does that process work?
So first of all, just for the people who actually want to dress as a celebrity, it's not that easy. It's just not become like that. I worked with Billy before when he was in Kinky Boots, and he was just get out of Kinky Boots. And I remember his stylist have no money whatsoever. I remember they used to buy things in Zara and return it for their events, because it was a very low budget for the beginning. And I remember the stylist came one day and say, look, I like your work, and do you think have extra jackets that you can just borrow me for, I need to dress Billy, and he's starting to become, it's going to be in TV soon. And I say, of course, I thought one of the things as a designer, no matter it's low or high, you have to be open to do that, because you always return back. And a return back that I dress him for campaigns and stuff, I dress him for Vogue 2 times, and my yellow suit is like well known in England, and I have huge offers from England because they saw it in Vogue UK. And but before the Golden Globes, it was a huge year of compromising and lending clothes and making clothes for him. I dressed him for Late Show Tonight with Colbert. I dressed him for the Late Show and a dress for singing there. I've been doing other things before dress a celebrity. When they dressed a celebrity, it was interesting because they came to me and they came together, the stylist and Billy, and they were saying, thank you. I was working with them a lot and they wanted to give me the Golden Globes, which at that point he was not nominated. He was just attending the Golden Globes. So it was huge because at that time, it was just another person, but it was huge because they knew it. It was the only designer who was in America without being a house. Like, it was no House of Dior and it was no House Chanel. It was not the random houses that we are, for me, in my opinion, they don't bring styles to the red carpet. They don't bring anything new. They just bring the brand because it's how the celebrity work with. A lot of celebrities being paid for work with them. Like, if you want to work with, I don't know, for just saying some sort of, I know, a lot of person does perfume campaigns, so they actually dress them after. So it's not just you have access to all the celebrities, a very limited celebrities opportunities that you have before they come in really high. And then for me, it was interesting because I have to prove first you can be, in the red carpet without being a huge house, and see, is we were talking with Elliot before, is diversity. I dress a man and almost a woman look, being a man and in a color, which is a huge difference and a diversity for the red carpet. It was already a huge sensation. That's why he was the number one waiting on the red carpet, because it was the first time it was a gay man openly, a black man openly, and an actor who actually interpreted a gay man already openly. So it's like and then dressing as a woman usually. So it's, not actually dressing as a woman. Actually, he dressed with dresses, which is a different story. So he's a performance. So it's a performer. So I think it was super intense to create something that it would make him look like wow, but without making him seem like a character. I thought I also have to respect my brand. So for me, one of the things that I talk to them, I can't just make a gown, because I'm not selling gowns for men. I'm selling gowns for women at the moment, and I'm selling dress like a suit for men. So it's very tough for me to combine that and then make money. Even so, it's a huge exposure. I don't want to have exposure if then I'm going to have a confusion of what my brand is. So they were super into that too, because, it was a collaboration. So obviously you have to be both sides, and I have to believe what I do it. And because I love him, and I hear he was like 2 hours with me in the studio, like talking about his past and how difficult it was for him to just climb all these ladders. And I understood how difficult is this business, especially film business or TV business in the community, when you are not in the color. It's the problem to be gay openly before being a color man. That was actually his struggle, and then he passed that, and also he had to pass another line. It was the color for them at that time when he started to do performing. So it was really harsh for him. So it was interesting to hear his side of the story, not as a celebrity, as just an actor who wanted to be in the Scream or on a Broadway show. So it was fun. And they knew it, the color. So one of the things that you asked me, which questions or what's the deal with things. So they wanted to dress him in white because they was dressing in a lot of colors before, and they wanted to just transition into more European look for him. So they thought white would be more sophisticated. Also, the contrast of color would be perfect. And the reason we just actually call this the White Swan is it's a black man and a white costume representing the kind of the black swan on the industry, because it is actually, and it was one of the kind, and he's one of the kind. So the only difficulty have the Golden Gloves that nobody designers knows, usually, including Valentino have the same issue, is they have to sit down and eat a dinner. So it's very important to the gowns fit on a table. And I remember he said, I have a trouble. He said they didn't let him sit down in the dinner, him and Lady Gaga, because they have huge gowns and huge trains and stuff. So I have to design a dress. So all his jacket, it became a blazer. So you have the whole train was a zipper inside the blazer. So when he took it off, it was feathers, but just on the normal jacket. So it was.
Gosh.
I make like 6 jackets out of the train because it was so heavy. They would pull it up and rip at the zipper. It was a mess. So it took a lot, and also was all silk. So it rips really fast. I don't know if you know, Lubna, for sure you know that because you work with that. Silks are very, very beautiful, but also they're very wrinkled and they're very, very bad for heavy stuff. And I have a 6 feet train of feathers. There was like over 300,000 feathers there sewing by hand.
I want to say one thing about Alex, by the way, because I'm a consumer of his brand. I own a lot of his stuff, a lot of his ready-to-wear, his shoes, his blazers, his tops, his dresses. And I'll say one thing, a lot of brands will represent the look, the feel, the vibe on the runway or on the red carpet, but then direct to consumer, the product is very different. I'm going to tell you right now, when he's saying his craftsmanship is top notch,
Yes.
I can, as a consumer and as an industry expert, I'm telling you it is. So if you haven't shopped Alex's product, I would definitely push everybody to do that because it's affordable, it's high quality, and kudos to you, Alex, for keeping the integrity of your brand, runway, red carpet, to the consumer. So I just had to put that in there.
I appreciate it. It's very, but it's true. It's very hard to combine both. It's like one is the designer and one is the Elliot was talking about. It's like one is the designer and one is the business, and combining both and make happy both sides is very, very tough. Like it took me years. It's not bring. It wasn't easy. It wasn't never difficult for me. I have to say. I have the lucky that I have Paris Hilton wanted to actually dress my dress for a cover, and then she wanted to buy it. Like I don't know. I have things out of the loop like that. I have Catherine, McPhee, also wearing my stuff, and so I have like lucky that the celebrities come to me and never have to reach a celebrity. But
is that a celebrity calling you right now?
No, actually.
You want to hear the conversation?
It might be, right?
That's probably Lubna that someone wants to buy something.
Oh, J-Lo, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm talking to Columbus Fashion Council. Thank you.
So sorry. So
I'm like QVC for you, Alex. I'm like your QVC
exactly.
right now.
No, but it's true. You say like if, for example, my shoes I made in Spain, and Lubna knows because she has shoes, and they're not only high and good quality. I mean, it's like all natural shoes. I use raffia and wood, and it's craftsmanship, and also it's affordable. It's not crazy expensive, and also it's comfortable, which is something that I was working with Spain because they do a lot of shoes for other, brands, big brands in Milano and everywhere. So I work with them, but everything costs a little bit of research and years of trying things. Like now, I'm doing a whole line of bathing suits because I do wallpapers on my own. So I'm doing the bathing suits on the same wallpaper prints that I actually make myself. So I'm trying to develop that, and it's it's part of the business. It's like you just create things, but also that they like it. So I just start to create. So now I'm working with China on the swimsuits because they're very good on lycra. So it's like I'm working on it. You have to expand your brain a little bit and just that. But coming back to the Golden Globes, so Billy was ask me only this, I can't just have something that is like, I cannot take it off. So we designed the feathers. And I remember with the same sketch I did when he was talking, and I said to him, I just see you in a beautiful, like a suit, like a men's suit with a nice, men's shirt. But then the feminine parts on the train. And I think, I thought it was kind of like sensitive for me, and also is some sort of sensual because you see a man, but you see some sort of dream in the back, and every man have that moment, of kind of that dream, not of course having a train of feathers, but it's kind of I don't know. I remember and also I work with Jimmy Choo on the shoes, and I have Swarovskis bring all the stones from Austria. They send me all the stones, the rings, so because you have to match with my costume, and then they have to match. So I have to send them to Jimmy Choo. Came to work with me to book because the boots was all part of the whole, ensemble. So they use the same silk that I use on the suit, and it was a lot of, it's a lot of behind work that people don't see on the runway, but it's a lot of thoughts. And I remember, so the first thing, so he was very, very expected, and it was funny because I was watching entertainment, I think, and Brad Goreski and all of them, they were saying, I think he's gonna go on Tom Brown. I think he's gonna go on something on Gucci because they're trying to really approach him all the time, and he have some. The thing, he tried to approach the brands before, but they didn't want to work with him. So he said, I refuse to use them on the Golden Globes. I can use it on an event, but I don't want to use it on a runway show. On the Golden Globes.
Alex, it sounds like for you it worked out. Like what I'm hearing is that for you it worked out because you made that connection.
I made the connection, yes.
Built that relationship before you got paid tons of money for it or before it paid off. Built that connection. I think that's
true. Especially, I think it's for designers. The more important is not to make the connection with the celebrity, is to make the connection with the stylist. It's the ones who are gonna pick your clothes. I have a suit for Catherine O'Hara before the COVID. I have two dresses and a suit for Catherine O'Hara for appearances, and because COVID, they cancel and stuff. But it's not Catherine O'Hara who called me and say, "I'm Catherine O'Hara, I want a dress." It's actually the stylist of her. So
right.
it's another part of the business that people just forget. But your PR is now go with the celebrities, go with the stylist. And I do have a good relationship with the stylist. But also, I'm telling you something, and that's personal opinion. I have the same relationship that I have with Billy Porter that I have with Lubna as a client. Like I have the same energy and excitement when Lubna just wear her shoes and post it than Billy Porter post something from me. Because for me, I mean, of course, seeing the media behind and all that stuff, it changed your brand and it changed your life. But the client is what makes your pocket to just create other things. You know what I mean? And it's important. I have relationship with customers and celebrities. Now I have, relationship with him personally. But before, I have it through the stylist before. So, that was like sorry. I'm very busy.
Is it Alex? Is it Catherine O'Hara? Because you mentioned her name. You did not tell me.
Maybe she's like, you know what? Now I call you for a dress.
I love Catherine O'Hara. I love her.
Too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Alex. All right. So I'm going to let you say, I feel like I learned so much just now. Imagine if you are, part of the events next to us.
Don't give all your secrets up.
I know. Don't give all your secrets away. One final question: yes or no answer. Did he get to keep that?
So that's another thing that I have. The thing I have a really good relationship with him. He knew it from the beginning. This is the money that I spend on my own. So this is not. I have a budget, and they give me the budget, and I spend. Even so, sorry again. That's Catherine. It's even so. You do have, I'm very popular.
Answer it. If it's Catherine, answer it right now. Put her on.
To be clear, I want a commission on all the sales coming during this conference call. Okay, 10% to Lubna Najjar.
Yeah, I always said that is like one of my best PR ever. That's like,
if those of you, whoever doesn't know who Catherine O'Hara is, she's Moda on Schitt's Creek, and it's my favorite character of all time.
Me too.
Well, that's why from Home Alone, you guys. The one from Home Alone.
Oh, it's true. That was actually, that was actually what I met. I mean, the first time I heard her name was in that movie, and I still watch it, and I still love it. So
I know, baby. You make me feel old saying that, but I mean,
you're aging us, Karina. You're aging us.
Okay, so Alex, really quick, because I got to move on. That's my job here. Yes or no? Did he get to keep it?
I keep it.
You keep it because you put your money and your time. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
because
so I get to
just to say that dress in some point, I have already called from museums that dress in the future. It will be because that was so it's not for making my name important, but that dress was the more popular dress on the 2020 on the whole media around the world. That dress was more photographed than every dress on the whole entire year because it was, but not because it was my dress. It was a huge success because Billy had it already. So it was a whole package, and that would make so special. It's like we risk because it could be a totally circus.
When you do feathers. We should put it on.
Alex, when I visit New York, I want to wear that cape. When I'm coming to see you, I want to wear that cape because I know you have it.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, all right. Oh my gosh, Alex, thank you so much. Real quick, I want to talk to Elliot because along with Alex, we're going to have some other amazing speakers. So can you just give us some highlights of what other speakers that you're providing from CFDA? Because those are going to be huge.
Yes, yes. Well, one of the things that I really always get excited about is when people ask me to provide speakers or other experts to give input or voice to things. And because I'm always listening and learning from so many other people. And CFDA has some incredible staff members. I mean, people don't know it's not a large, I mean, the impact of CFDA is major, but it's from a very small team. People don't know it's not a huge organization in terms of staff, but what they do is so monumental. And I mean, we have some great experts. So one of the people that will be joining is Mark Beckham, who is the VP of Marketing. And Mark Beckham is who I report to at CFDA, and I work with him on Connects. And he's just my big buddy. I love him. And so you will hear from Ebony Wiggins, who leads our Impact program, which is the program that supports Black and Brown creatives that was launched last year after the murder of George Floyd. And Ebony is incredible. She has a background in urban planning and development and social impact, and she's just a force. So she's going to be on the diversity panel. We also have the guru of all things sustainability, Sarah Kozlowski, who heads up sustainability and educational programming at CFDA. And if you've never heard of this woman, you should look her up. You definitely don't want to miss this panel. Sarah is just a mastermind. She's absolutely incredible. Oh, who else do we have? We have so many great people.
The photographer.
Yes, Alon Samik. I call him my spirit photographer. I mean, this dude is literally my twin. I love this man. But Alon is a fashion and fine art jewelry editorial photographer, and this guy is incredible. He has a series. We've done interviews before, but he has a series on Instagram with NYC Jewelry Week called Point of View. And his mind, his story, his artistry, we've had a chance to work on a campaign together. The guy is incredible, and he's going to be on the media and buying panel. But his perspective on how to show up, how to present yourself to media and branding is incredible, and you just don't want to miss it. I'm proud of all the speakers that are joining. No one is a lightweight. We also have Dale Noel, very good friend of mine. Dale is the president of True Model Management here in New York. She and I have served on several panels and spoken together. And I asked her, she was like, absolutely. Anytime we get to do anything together, I will always say yes. She's going to be there. I'm telling you, this is no lightweight conference. And I am just elated to see this come from idea to fruition, because I remember the call when Thomas and Lubna shared that it was something that they were wanting to do and had not done. So, I mean, my hat's off to you. I salute you. Thank you for involving us and allowing me to plug in some of my industry colleagues, but I'm excited for you to hear their voices because they are incredible. Mark is the Fashion Week mastermind. So he's going to talk about Fashion Week and trade shows. And I mean, who better to do it than him? He also comes from IMG before he was at CFDA. And for those of you who don't know, IMG is the company that produces what we know as New York Fashion Week. And so I don't know anyone that's better qualified for him to talk about it than him. So I'm excited for all of you. And that's
the casting director too, Elliot. We didn't mention the casting director.
Oh my gosh, O'Neill. Yes. There's so many. O'Neill Endicott. O'Neill is a casting director here. He actually, when I talked to him about this, he was on set in Aruba or some exotic place shooting with John Paul. So he's going to be there. So I really wanted to provide a very diverse group also, to celebrate everything that you all are already doing and the trajectory that you've already set in place, and just to be able to flow in that. And I'm so honored that everyone said yes. The relationships are key. A point that Alex brought out, just the fact that I can call people and they will say yes. That matters a lot to me, and I'm excited to extend those relationships to Columbus. And that's what Connects is all about. It's about extending the access, extending the resources, and having a vehicle and a channel to do that. So I really want those who are listening, who are not a part of the Columbus Fashion Council, to get with the move. We're going. I love it.
I love it. Thank you, Elliot. Yeah, I mean, it's all about helping each other, because these people have been in other, if you're starting up right now, whatever you're doing, these other people, those speakers have been in that position before.
Absolutely.
So they can tell you about getting to that higher up level and how to do it. So some awesome speakers. We're excited. A lot of the people that are tuning in are sending messages saying they're excited too. So I really quickly just want to go through the 2-day schedule for everyone that's tuning in. So if we can pop that up in a graphic, you can see right here. So this is day 1, May 19th, starts at 12. So you can highlight here, fashion changed my life. sourcing and manufacturing, buyers and media, sustainable fashion, the model industry. It's alive. Ooh, that's a good sell right there. And then fashion happy hour. And then day 2, May 20th. This one has a lot of great options. Diversity makes us stronger. Your brand online, how to dress a celebrity, of course. Fashion weeks, what's the point? Trade shows, call my agent. Do you have one? And then a closing party with a surprise guest. So, Alex, I'm going to put you on the spot. If you had to choose one workshop aside from yours to attend, which one would it be? Did any of those really pop out at you?
I think the online one, the online sales. I think it's getting like super busy, and I thought I can manage myself, and it's definitely impossible. Like, so I would love to hear about that one, because it's a lot more than designers can actually handle. Yeah.
Lubna, how about you?
For me, I think it's, we in our business, we have our hand in everything, but the one that's really interesting, that's very dynamic, and there's a lot happening in, is sustainable fashion, which is one of the 2 4 p.m.s on the second day. I know one of our CFDA Connects folks is going to be in that one. I'll also be in that one. That's going to be a really interesting one, because the word sustainable, or the buzz collective of sustainable fashion, is sort of it's a trend right now, and every fashion brand and every consumer is defining it very differently. And I think we'll be able to learn quite a bit about the sustainable, movement, whether it's how the product is made or the life of the product. And maybe the where it started and where it ended, from its fiber to its consumer. So I think that's a really, the dorky side of me just loves to hear about that piece.
But it's important. Like,
it is really important.
It's dorky, it's important, but it's stuff that you got to know.
It's important to be a ethical and mindful shopper. And I think that's where we want people to be within the industry. We want people to start thinking about, don't just buy something because it's pretty and it looks good on you and it makes you feel good. Well, maybe feeling good isn't just how it looks on you, maybe what it means to you and what it's doing to the industry, right? What it's doing to our environment. So that's the one I'm really excited about. I have some of my clients that they're going to be signing up for the conference just to be able to listen in on that one. And these are mass market brands that are multi-million-dollar labels, and they're coming in to listen to this workshop. So this is going to be a really, really cool one. I love the rest of them too. They're really fun.
Elliot, how about you? What do you think about our lineup for the workshop?
Oh, I think it's incredible. My favorite workshop, I was really geeked and hype about it, is Fashion Changed My Life, which is the panel that I'm going to be on. I'm excited about that one because I literally believe that is one of the things that gets me up every day and helps me to engage. It's no secret, I'm not shaming, but this business is nasty. This is nasty business. Oh my gosh. And I always say that the only reason you can really be successful, and the only thing that will keep you in this business, and I think that in anything that you're in, is you have to love it. You really do have to love it. And in spite of the things that we don't like about the industry or the business of fashion, there's so much to love about it, and I love being able to connect with other people, and we talk about why we love this business, why we chose to be in this business, and I'm just excited about that, because literally I changed my life for fashion, but also fashion changed my life, and so I'm excited to talk about that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, so I want to leave some time for questions from some of the people that are tuned in. So does anyone have any questions out there? In the meantime, I'm going to ask each one of you guys a random question. How about, we'll start with Tommy. Tell us something about you that we don't know. No. How about, let's make it fashion related. Tell us the worst thing that you've ever worn. This is going to be a question for all of you that you're like, oh God, I regret that so much. Like for me, it was leather pants. So, okay.
All right, I'll go. Okay, so basically, this kind of goes hand in hand. So something you don't know about me is the fact that I grew up in a small town in Texas, and I raised steers, and I hauled hay, and I plowed fields, and I showed steers at 4-H and the stock show.
I need
the
some
fashion
pictures.
part. What was that, Elliot?
I need some pictures.
So here's the thing. The fashion part was my grandpa wanted me to wear a Stetson hat and some ropers, and I refused. I said, I don't think so. I will wear my Converse. I will wear this ball cap, and that is what I'm wearing. That's as good as it gets. I don't care if I was showing a steer. I didn't care because my fashion was very important to me at the age of 12 and 13 and 14.
Brown, that was important to you then. Lubna, how about you?
I will tell you an interesting thing that the only person on this panel that would know this is Karina because we grew up together. I used to be like a major tomboy. I was like a pretty great athlete in high school, middle school. And up until I would say like I was 21 or 20, and I'm pretty much always in yoga pants now because I teach yoga for fun. But I was a huge tomboy. My hair was always up. I never wore makeup. I was always in some sneakers and sports bra. I don't even think I owned a normal bra that like gave me women's shape. I was like a huge tomboy. And then now too, and Karina can attest, she loves to tell people about.
I mean, and like not a tomboy, like a cute leggings and a cute tank top Lululemon outfit. It was a big old t-shirt that one of her boyfriends probably gave her, ratted out.
Not a boyfriend, just my brother. Calling my brother.
Oh, okay.
Basketball shorts, singlet. It wasn't even cute activewear, guys. We have.
Did you play ball? Did you play ball?
I did. I was a track runner. But
we need to shoot some hoops, girl. I didn't know that. We need to shoot some hoops.
Oh yeah, and I still am still a pretty decent athlete, but it's just so ironic because we'll be places people like, oh my gosh, I love this, and Karina's like, did you know she was a tomboy like 14 years ago? Let me show you pictures. I'm like, okay, Karina.
I know. The fact that I can say that about
I love it.
I can't believe I've known you for that long.
It keeps you humble.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I keep you in check, Lubna. We don't need you to get any more fabulous than you already are. Okay, Elliot, how about you? Any big fashion loves, mistakes?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Well, actually, it's interesting. So I just went home. I surprised my mother for Mother's Day, and I flew home. And while I was there, I was looking through my old shoe closet, and I was looking through it for a particular reason. But anyway, and I have a picture to show you. But you pull out these boxes of shoes, and I could not believe. Well, first in high school, I didn't really dress. I was voted best dressed boy though every year from middle school to high school through high school. And I graduated in a very big class. I was one of 658 people, my senior class. So that meant something. But I didn't wear tennis shoes, and I wasn't that kind of kid. Like I wore Stacey Adams and that kind of. Yeah, that's the way that but look at this pair of Stacey Adams that I wore in high school. And I'm just saying at my age in high school, I was walking around with these kind of shoes on. Look at this shoe.
Oh, wow.
Shut up.
But
you were dressing for success.
But these like my granddad was wearing these. Why did I have these on at 16, 17 years old? I mean, but it was appreciated. So I guess it was the time. I hope this doesn't come back. These shoes are horrible. Look at these.
They probably will come back. You know better, Elliot. They're coming.
Everything comes back.
And I had them in all colors. This is just one. I had every color.
Catherine's calling to talk about your shoes.
You say what?
Catherine O'Hara's calling to talk about your shoes.
I know.
Oh,
she's intense.
All right, Alex, I promise whatever you tell us about a fashion club that we won't share it with her, but do you have one? Do you have a story?
No, actually, it's not a huge story. It's like personal. But, I was an athlete all my life, kind of, and I was national champion ice skating, and I did shows all over the world. But until today, I never, ever wear sneakers, Adidas, or Nike. A sports sneaker. Ever in my life. You never will see me with any sports sneakers ever in my life.
What do you run in? Like if you go for
I don't know. I just never did. And it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like a wrong thing for me. It's just not look good for me.
That's what I felt too, Alex. But I promise you, if you ever put one on, you're gonna have.
For sure, love it. For sure, but you know what? I used to wear sport clothes all the time because I was skating. So I was
Mhm.
I was in sport gear in the ice rink, but for some reason I would go with my pointing shoes and that time. And my jeans, my tight jeans, and my blouse, and my jacket, and I would go and just change into my leggings. Just but I promise, it's like I don't know why, but I never wear one sneakers. I mean, sneakers like cool sneakers, yes, but a sneaker like a sports sneaker, they say, oh, this sneaker is meant to be tennis. No, ever.
I don't wear cross trainers, Alex. I wear Vans, but I cannot wear cross trainers unless I'm going to a circuit party, and that's a little bit different. Let me just say, there's a reason.
I would imagine.
And all the gay men know what I'm talking about, so shut up.
Don't tell us about the theme parties you go to. Okay, Tommy, not
A theme party?
On that note, I never wear flip-flops in my life. And believe it or not, I don't know how to walk on flip-flops. Like I literally, like I can teach people to walk on a runway. I could not even walk myself on a flip-flops.
Wait, you don't wear flip-flops either? Is this really like okay? What about saying when you go to the beach? What do you wear?
Well, I have my
Vans.
Vieras. I have,
What about when you go to the spa?
Well,
Vans.
I just don't do the
Vans
things.
at the spa?
I don't do Vans. I don't do Adidas, which is one thing. No, not for me. Well, everyone has their flaws.
It's not a flaw. It's personal.
I think it's a standard.
Okay, no one's
High
judging.
standard.
It's a judge-free zone.
Nobody's judging that. All of you, they are texting like, look at how freaky it is.
I make no promises not to judge you. No.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, this conversation is hilarious, and I wish it could go on, but I do have to wrap things up.
We have some questions, I think. I think we have some questions, Karina. Yeah.
Wait,
You want me to
hold
put
on.
them
I
up?
can't see them. So,
It's okay. There's one.
oh, here we go. Sparkle says, if I don't sew but want to start a small line, what's the best way to get started?
Can make a day of that. But I mean, Lubna know for sure even so better. But my experience is like you have to start with a niche. You can't just do everything. You can't just start a line with shoes, underwear, jackets, dresses. I think Sparkly, you might, if your niche is tops, you should start with the tops, a smaller quantity of tops, and that's all. If your niche is jackets, I mean, this is my way to see. I think it's very difficult. The competition now is so big, and it's a lot of fast fashion, and it's a lot of good fashion, and it's very hard. And you don't have to sew. I don't think you have to sew, but you have to understand how it's made. I think it's super important to know how it's made. Like you can't just make something that you buy and you sell it without explaining to the customer what it's been done with, or why you like the fit for, or why you just pick that texture. I think it's the best way to start. It will just educate yourself of what you want to sell, what is made for, and what is your public or your niche or your audience. I think that's my best.
Would it be like, Alex, would it be like explaining like a painting, like why I painted this painting and why I chose these colors, why I chose this pattern, why I chose this app, in the same way of like really understanding your own design to also be able to tell the customer that.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. It's like, it's not, I mean, it's very abroad. I mean, that question is very interesting, but it's very abroad. So I don't know what is actually the line that she want to start, but even so, also Catherine is still for, so even so, I think you need to start with a very small point and a very good sense of where and who you're going to sell. Because I think it's not the same, I have I'm going to sell to my friends. I'm going to sell to my friends who have friends, and I have to sell on Instagram. I'm going to have to sell or in my own store, or I'm going to sell to another store. It's very broad. But if you want to start from some point, I think you need to start. What is your audience? What you want to sell and who you want to reach? Because for me, my clothes, I don't sell, and Lubna knows that, especially because she wears a lot of my clothes. I have no one basic stuff in my store. My store is to people who already have a white shirt from Zara and a cool pair of jeans and a cool sandals from Valentino to Jimmy Choo to, I don't know, to even H&M. Doesn't matter. But I just bring you the accessory. I can bring you the cool jacket that you put it on and the people say, I like your jacket. I can give you the accessory to just say, I like your blouse. That's my niche. And I've been very popular and actually successful because I do find my niche, and my niche is not to do my basics. I think it's other people who does amazing basics. I don't have to compete with them. So that's
good point.
That's great advice. And you're right, the jacket that Lubna has of yours, everywhere we go when she wears it, people are like, oh my God, what is that? She's like, here you go, follow him. This is where it's from.
I do. I have a couple, but the one she's talking about, Alex, is like the white fur, the faux fur with like the rhinestones and jewels on top. That one from last winter.
It's
amazing. It stops everywhere.
White, black, and then they have all the metal stones there.
I would add just one micro one micro movement that Sparkle can take with starting the line. So if you don't sew, and say you already know what product line you want to start in, or you already know, you've kind of thought through what the collection may look like. Yes, know your target demo. Yes, know where you want to sell it and what you'd like the consumer to get from it, and that you're building the brand foundation correctly. But on the technical level, if you don't sew, that's okay. I agree with Alex in that the construction on the inside has to make just as much beautiful technical sense as the outside. But you can always team up with a local seamstress or team up with a designer who's willing to collab with you on a first collection to create these initial samples with you. So that would kind of be my first thing, because we work with some of the brands we work with don't have any design background, right? They come to an agency like ours to develop it because they have the vision, right? So if you have, the investment to do something like that, I would totally go to a consultancy. But if you don't, you can go on the micro level and find a seamstress locally and have them, sort of work with you on that dream. And that would be a really great place to start. Start with a small, what we call a capsule collection. A very cohesive collection that might be, say, depending on what type of brand you're going to build, it could be, I don't know if you're in socks or if you're women's wear, kids wear, I don't know what it is, but start with a capsule collection that makes sense, that each piece serves a purpose to your customer, and then perfect that, and then build a line around each of those garments. And then you're then creating sort of this whether it's direct to consumer through .com or whatever it is. On that level, I would go to a technical person that really knows what they're doing, so that whether you have one customer or 1,000 customers day one, nobody can say that your product isn't made right, because Alex will tell you, Elliot will tell you, if the product isn't made right, no one will shop it and they will rip you apart online. So
I want to add in too, Sparkle. Come to May 19th and May 20th, because you're going to have 30 experts that you can ask all the questions to and just really get their knowledge. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no better way to do that than just attend next week's virtual conference.
I agree.
And we have a really good question right here from Melissa. Melissa, thanks for joining. She says, what tips do you have for introverts to get out there interacting with press, networking, clients, etc.? And, I'll speak on behalf of, people on TV. A lot of people that do the news, a lot of people that are on TV, even PR people, they're not all extroverts. I mean, in fact, a bunch of my coworkers that go on TV every day are introverts. They battle anxiety, so for them, it's not that easy, but it's almost like, say, today I'm going to do this for 15 minutes. I'm going to challenge myself. And you just kind of have to, it's a challenge, but you have to kind of just force yourself to do it. It's I would say short increments of time. And maybe that'll help a little bit in terms of talking to press and networking. And you know what? I always tell people, if you're going on TV, if you're talking to the media or whatever you're doing, they're regular people, and so just talk to them like you would talk to your mom or your friend. And that actually comes across better in terms of being on TV and doing interviews or anything like that. Just be yourself.
Karina, I want to add to that.
Don't be scared to tell somebody you're nervous. I have a lot of people that say, hey, Karina, I'm so sorry, I'm nervous. Well, you're not on TV all the time, or you're not doing these public events all the time. We understand that. So don't be scared to say that either. And usually, if they're good professionals and they're good at their job, they'll make you feel comfortable.
I want to add to that, Karina, and just say, a lot of people think I'm extroverted. I'm actually an outgoing introvert. And something I've learned about myself here lately is it's a lot about managing your energy. So if you have a big presentation or you have a big, ask or whatever you're doing in the next week, manage your energy leading up to it. That way you're ready. You don't want to be spent. Your energy doesn't want to be spent. So I think that's a big deal with a lot of introverts, is also managing their energy. But yeah, I just want to throw that little tidbit in because I'm not an extrovert, honestly. So
that's an interesting fact about you, Tommy. I wouldn't have known that, and so that's
Yeah, me neither.
But I will say just to that, I'm also, for those who don't know, a fun fact I guess I could say about me is I'm also a certified life and executive coach. So I deal with this a lot with my clients, and most performing people and most entertainers that you know and celebrate, a lot of your celebrities are also introverts, but you know they do a good job of performing, and so which is why sometimes when you meet them out of character, they're not necessarily the most social people, or many people are like, oh, they weren't nice, or but it's just that they're just not extroverted people. So just in that, one of the things that I do encourage people sometimes to do is to develop a character. You know, Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, and then there's, you know, Beyonce, and many people have that, and just when it comes to you being able to perform, because if you think of it as a performance, then it's able to channel through you a little better and more naturally than you just trying to force yourself in an environment and to do something that you're not necessarily comfortable with. But if you look at it through the lens of performance, I find that people are able to do it better. I'm an extrovert all day long, so I it's just my thing. But and then the other thing is, if you can afford it, hire someone to do that for you.
There it is.
And practice makes perfect. I was going to say, if you can afford it, hire that for that too, but practice makes perfect. And so if you just try to have the similar, like the same conversations over and over with press, with clients, you do naturally perfect that craft over time. You do get comfortable with yourself over time. And I always tell my clients this, is that slow down before you speak about things, because if you slow down, your thinking becomes more clear, and then you're less worried about what you look like and what your energy is with how you're delivering. You're more worried about what the message really is, and is this person really receiving it the way I want them to? And then if you feel like their face is doing this, you can try to find a different way to explain it. But I agree with all of those. Oh, you're muted, Alex.
I didn't do it this time. Go ahead.
But it was super difficult to me. I mean, imagine it's still now, because I have a very different accent with people, and talk here in America when everyone speaks like really fast and make yourself understand, and then understand them in the same moment. It was like, okay, this is going to be a tough. And it's just, to me, it's not about to be introvert or extrovert. I think it's to be, you need to understand that people were you before. Nobody raised or nobody born on a high star unless, you know, you're the queen. So it's not that everyone is the blue ribbon. Everyone is, you know, a start from zero. And in some point that people was journalists or was like, you know, or writers or designers, whatever they are, or even famous people. That's not what networking. It means you talk how you are and you express how you are. And like you say, Tommy, I think it's all about energy. You just transmit your energy to other person. Doesn't matter you are or who you are. They will just reply in the same way. It's just, you just can't see them there more than you, because then the way they just do something different than you, but it's not climbing, you know what I mean? They might be more successful or they might be more famous, but it's like that people, they've been in castings, they've been for sure. It's like they've been in the same positions like every one of us been before. They struggle too. They struggle with their normal life too. So, you know, they all have kids and they have dramas and they have stress and they have the same things that you have. It's just, you just need to transmit your energy. And like, I think Lubna says something very important for people, and I do myself often, especially because I don't speak the language as much people speak here.
You're great.
But you know, you need to breathe a little bit. You need to just count in and then say, okay, this is what I'm gonna go for my mouth, you know, because it's true. It's like I literally fucked it up a lot of times, so I kind of, you know, you just kind of like, it's true, because sometimes you really are like, oh, this Catherine is very pushy.
Alex, you said something I want to touch on real quickly. Is I usually tell others, meet others at their level. It was exactly what you said. No one's better than you. No one's worse than you. And you meet people at their level, because then it puts you on an even playing field. And then all of a sudden you realize that you are equal, and then your conversation is equal. So I always say that.
And also, I guess it's difficult for people, because I think, and people don't think that they are I don't know, like they look comfortable on their own, sometimes in their own skin to talk to other people. And I think that's a struggle. That's not being introvert. I think you need to work a little bit on security more, like, to be a little more capable to just express how you feel or express a question or express an answer. I mean, I think it's more onto that than to be on one or the other way.
I think we have one more. There it is.
So we have one more question. This is from Aditi. And it says, recent efforts to promote a diverse and inclusive culture in fashion are impressive. How can brands and organizations keep that going?
Can I just say real quickly, can we all just look at us real quickly? How diverse is this? Literally.
Agree. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
For me, that question is like, I think the important thing is to don't take it as a very, I don't think you need to take as a race or as a color or as a personality or anything as a special. I think fashion or creations, it have no color, no shape, no style. It's like the way to see is to not knowledge that it's only one. It's to knowledge that it's everything. To me, it's just now focus on, because now we have to be all embrace, I have to embrace the Asians, and I have to embrace their Muslims, and I have to embrace the color people, and I have to embrace the white, the orange. It doesn't matter. You have to be true for what you are. And I think that to be a very successful, not only business and designer, is to just curate all these colors and race and experience on your life and just put it together. And I think that's what it makes all this culture of fashion just be a bro and not just be one fashion. Because to be honest, I've been in places that I don't make dresses for color. I make actually dresses for different shapes. And Lubna have a great body, but for sure she knows that not every length or every cut or every shoulder or every length on the sleeve, it will be for her. It will not exaggerate probably, or not even the back, or sometimes because if she does a sport, her back is more bigger than a skinny girl who never been in a sport. So not every dress is for every person, but doesn't matter the color. And also sometimes the colors matter, because some colors and dresses are especially brought in darker colors, and some colors are amazing for whiter colors or pale colors or cafe colors. Doesn't matter. It's like, it's a diversity, and that's what it calls creations, because you create something for someone, not for a special race or a special color. For me, that's my way to see it.
Yeah, and I just will say to that, just in terms of brands and organizations, as a DEI consultant, I have these conversations every day, and the main thing, and just for what you all can do where you are, is just make sure that the conversation keeps going. It's not a trend. It's not a moment. And I really do hope that, within the next 5 years, we don't have to have these particular conversations. I really just think that, the way that we engage in the industry should reflect the way that the world works. We live in a diverse and inclusive world. When I walk out of my door, I ride in cars with people who don't look like me. I get on the train with people who don't look like me or come from where I come from, but we can still ride together. I go to restaurants with other people who are eating with me that don't look like me or come from where I come from, and we still eat in the same place. So, we can live together, that it is important, just because of the things that have been in place that have caused there to be a lack of diversity and inclusion, to replace those systems and replace that programming. And that really starts with all of us just being integral and true to the cause, and continuing the conversation, understanding that it is not a trend. And there are lots of movements that have gone on. There are lots of initiatives that have come out. For instance, the CFDA's Impact Program. There are so many other things that are being built, and to help engage those and push those and make sure that those initiatives are successful, and also hold people accountable to the things that they say on Instagram and wherever else people make statements. And then, months later, they seem to shift from those commitments. But if you hold them to the paper, then they have to do that. So just that, and also attend the diversity panel during the conference, because I know that there will be a lot more discussion about that, and you'll learn more about what you can do.
Yes, Elliot, what a powerful statement and message to wrap it up on. And this conversation has been great on so many levels, but we're going to continue it at the conference. And Tommy, I want you to tell us how people can participate in the conference. What do they need to do? Pricing, anything else? And we have the website right there, posted for any of you. but real quick, you can go.
Okay, real quick. So there's a website. If you are a Columbus Fashion Council member, which if you go to the website, if your name is on that list, you're a member. So make sure you email us for your access code. It's full access. It's free. And this is a $150 value that you're getting for free. If you're not a member, we encourage you to join as a member at $100 per year. Not only do you get membership benefits, you also receive now our CFDA Connects benefits that gets passed to you. You also receive full access. And you know, there are so many benefits as a CFC member, such as if you're a new designer or a designer at all that you're putting out your new brand or you're launching a new brand, we can help with your press release. We'll send it out. We'll help with your launch, your promos. We've already done it. We've been doing it. But that is the best deal. $100, join as a member. Or hey, listen, each day $75. You can go to as many or as little as the workshops as you want, or get full access pass at $150. Either way, like we told Sparkle earlier, that the best thing to do is come to this conference. It's virtual. Tune in from your desk, from your laptop, from your phone. It doesn't matter. And just learn from all these experts, and especially from the CFDA. I mean, we cannot get any bigger than that. Let's be real. Okay, so that's my pitch to you. Come do it. This is for the designers. This is for the fashion community. Let's join us.
Perfect. I love it. Hope that is big.
Catherine's joining us. Yay!
Okay, Catherine. She wants to be a part of this. Just let her. It's fine.
She just wanted to be. She just wanted to be with us.
She heard we're a fun group, so.
She's gonna watch this. Watch. She's gonna watch it, and then we're gonna get hit with some kind of legal shit. I don't know.
I agree.
Okay, Tommy, Thomas, Lubna, Elliot, Alex, thank you all so much. This has been fun and educational and inspirational, all of the things. Tommy, it's time for another.
We have like 8 of them. They sent me 12 or more. I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll let you get to it. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you all so much. I have to get to bed. I have to be at work at 2 a.m.
Oh my God.
So wake up, see us tomorrow. Alex and Elliot, you can watch online, 10tv.com.
Okay.
Okay. I always watch you, but I watch you on
Thank you,
Instagram.
Karina. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I have appreciated this time. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
This has been great. All
Likewise.
right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a
Stay
great
safe
night.
out there.
Love you guys.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.